Hello everybody, welcome to the Wednesday evening Beading Dreams live tutorial stream. I don't know why that had to be a song, but apparently it
definitely
did.
a song.
It was definitely a song. It was not a good...
Do we drink?
Oh, drink! Oh, yes. Cheers! It wasn't necessarily a good song, but it was a song. So, welcome to the Wednesday evening Beading Dreams live tutorial stream, which will be followed by the part 2 of our podcast on the Cullinan Diamond, subtitled Size Does Matter, also subtitled He Did, because that is just kind of a general theme with all of the big gemstones. But we will be, I'm not going to say finishing up with the Cullinan this evening, because there's a whole lot of stuff that might make its appearance in future podcasts, but we're going to be finishing up the narrative of the Cullinan this evening. But before we do that, we are going to go ahead and do some quilling. Yes, we're going to do our quilled eye earrings, and the reason that I call them quilled eye earrings is because that's what this shape is called in quilling. It's called an eye. So, what do we need? We are going to need some strips of paper. So, if you are a fan of quilling, you actually can buy pre-cut quilling strips, and they come, very nicely attached at the end, so you can pull off what you need, and they're very, very handy. Now, since this is my project from Saturday's crafting deathmatch, the supplies were old book pages, so I actually cut my... Hi, Kiko! Hello, Kiko Human. There's a header human there, too. She's just geologying at the moment. So I cut my own strips for the deathmatch on Saturday, and I cut them a little bit thicker than your typical quilling strips, just to kind of give you guys a comparison. They're significantly thicker than the quilling strips, and that's mainly because I had no idea what I was doing, and I was in a hurry, and so I just picked a width and I cut it. She is geologying for the podcast. She is going to be our resident geology expert. And she's going to take all of the words that I don't understand, and she's going to explain them to all of us. No pressure.
None at all, no.
No, none.
No.
In addition to paper strips, and in order to make, if you want to make the same design of earrings that I made on Saturday, you're going to need... So you're going to need 18 strips of paper to do this, because each of these little bits is one strip of paper. And so my earrings are probably going to turn out to be a slightly different size tonight than they were on Saturday, because on Saturday I was cutting from a book that was probably about 7 inches tall, and these strips I cut from scrapbooking paper, so they're closer to 12 inches. So I might wind up with a difference in scale on those. In addition to the paper strips, you're going to need various findings and jump rings. So I've got them all kind of in my dapping block here, so I'm not going to pull them all out, but you're going to need some ear wires, you need various sizes of jump rings, and then since one of the components from the ingredients from the other night is silver charms, you're going to need 2 silver charms. As far as tools go, you don't need this, but it's a really, really helpful... This is a quilling tool, okay? So this is actually a purpose-built tool for quilling. You can do this with just an awl, and a lot of people do. They are way cooler than me, so I like my quilling tool. So basically it's a cylindrical rod, and it's got a slit in the end of it, and that just holds your paper while you're rotating it. And trust me, it makes your life a whole lot easier. And then you're going to need some white glue, ideally in a squeeze bottle. My squeeze bottle ceased to work during the match on Saturday, so I think I fixed it, but if not, I have a backup paintbrush, because I was reduced to applying glue with a solder pick on Saturday because I had no paintbrushes within arm's reach. And then because one of our components from Saturday's match was nail polish, we are going to use nail polish on the outside of this, and I've chosen actually black nail polish for this evening's tutorial. So let's talk for just a second about quilling. So quilling is a paper craft, and it does have some really cool jewelry applications, but basically it is and seriously, if you have 2 hours or more to spend in a rabbit hole on the internet, like Google quilled art or quilling projects, because there are just some amazing things out there, like whole panels, things that are selling, you know, for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, rightly so, just because of the amount of effort that's required to make these beautiful things. And so I am really a basic quiller. I'm not, you know, I'm a beginner. I know pretty much this shape and this shape, and I can do the teardrop shape, and that's all I got at the moment. So there's a whole, like, if you go and Google quilling, like, so you start out with a spiral, but then there's, like, you can squish it this way, squish it this way, squish it this way, and all of a sudden you've got a square or a triangle. It's pretty amazing. I can't do it, but it's really cool. So this is like the simplest possible form of quilling. So how do you make these little widgets? Let's see. So you're going to take your quilling tool, and you can get these off of Amazon. I got a whole quilling set, and the only thing I use from it really is this. So, you know, thank you, Amazon, for taking my money. And that's why I should not be allowed on Amazon or Temu or Pinterest late at night. So I'm just going to slot my paper into my little tool, and I'm going to start rolling. So I'm going to start rolling and making a little coil. And you're going to do this as tight as possible, because what we're going to do after we're done is we're going to release this and let it go. And it'll spring out. Also, by the way, in other news, yesterday, the battery in my car died when I went out to go to work. That was super fun. And then none of the auto parts places in my neighborhood were doing installs, so I had to install the thing myself, which is great, except for my car is Korean, and so it's all metric, and all of my sockets are American. And then somebody decided it was a good idea to put the battery holding thingy bolt like down in between the battery and something else. So thank God my neighbor had the tool that I needed, which was like a 10-inch long socket, half-inch socket. But like, really? Also, car batteries have doubled in price since the last time I bought one. Hashtag not a fan. So I made my little coil, and then I'm just going to let it go. So I'm going to let it go, and I'm just going to let it release to its natural size. And so the way that you get all of these the same size, and you will notice that I did not do a great job of that on this pair of earrings. So this definitely could have been some demerits for me as far as the scoring goes. So the way you get them the same size is, first of all, you start with them all the same length. Second of all, you roll them with the same tension. And then third of all, you let them go and release to whatever that natural tension is. And if you roll them all with the same amount of force, then they're going to all release to the same size. So then I'm going to take my glue bottle, which I'm really hoping works at the moment, and I'm just going to put a little bit of, and this is just regular old white glue. Nope, totally nope. That's that glue bottle is having performance issues.
It really is.
Yeah, so that's okay. We're going to go with the auxiliary paintbrush. So this is just white glue. It's paper, so it doesn't have to be any kind of fancy special glue. So yeah, it's just Elmer's, which is nice because it'll clean off my paintbrush nicely. So I'm just going to throw some glue under there and just hold it down, give it a little bit of pressure, and let it go and set it to the side. Okay, so that's my first, it's my first spiral. And so how many of those do I need to make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I need to make 14 of these babies. Okay, so I'm going to make 14 of those babies. Yeah, Keiko, I don't think you can do that. I mean, you can wait till I'm not live and then you can rewind it and watch it, but then you might miss the podcast, which I think is going to be fun because I've been researching. I was up at 7 a.m. researching, and then I handed Heather some things at like 1 p.m. and she's been researching because she's the geology expert on this evening's podcast, and I am talking about politics and fashion. Okay, so once again, I've got my piece of paper and I've got it on my quilling tool. And so what I like to do is I like to take it off and kind of, squish it in so that it's level, and then just let it go. Let it do its thing. And another thing is, if you're using different types of paper, they may expand out to different sizes. So if you're an advanced quiller, that's something you need to be aware of. I am not, so I am just using the same paper and going with it's gonna be fine. So a little bit of white glue on there, and there we go. Okay, so I'm going to do this 12 more times. So I'm gonna talk and I'm gonna quilt. So how was everyone's weekend? Did anyone do anything exciting?
I was just so excited to have one.
Right? Seriously, it was pretty nice. Though I spent a lot of it cleaning. But it was still nice to be cleaning there instead of cleaning here.
Yes. New and different.
New and different, yes. Though it still wound up being a whole lot of hide the mess. So my living room and my dining room look wonderful. That is the end of that statement. So again, I'm just going to let that expand out. And glue it down. So this really is just straight up white Elmer's glue. You don't need anything special and fancy for this. I know, right? What is the weekend? Keiko, we forgot for a minute there. It was very nice to rediscover what is a weekend, because I was definitely becoming not a very nice person. So anything else exciting happen to anyone else on this so-called weekend? Just wondering. So let's see. So let's talk about what's coming up on the Beading Dream stream this week. So tomorrow is going to be a live merchandise sale. Friday is going to be a I don't know if it's a Fire Friday class. I might have done just like a Hammering Friday class. I can't remember. And then Saturday is going to be either Freeform or Zoom. I can't remember. Ah. What? No! Corvus, that's not exciting. That's terrible. And hi! And please don't get any of us sick via the internet. Thank you very much. We love you. That sucks. Being sick is no fun. Yes, how are you feeling now, Corvus? Inquiring minds would like to know. And then this Saturday we are very excited. We are going to be having our everlasting String of Pearls class in the store with our guest instructor Flora, and we will be recording that, and we will be releasing that on Etsy as a downloadable tutorial once I figure out how to edit it and everything. Got it. Well, I'm sure that kitty will find the perfect home, even if it's not with you. there's a new kitty coming around my neighborhood, and I'm saying she because she's a tortoiseshell. Long-haired tortoiseshell is definitely feral because she will just bolt at any sign of a person. But she's very, very pretty. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so we're going to continue with this. Wait, who's oh, is Angus your daughter's cat? Like, I wish I had the time to, like, you know, tempt and you know, tame this feral kitty, but I just don't. So, but she's very pretty. Oh, poor goose. He got hurt into feels. Oh, I'm sorry, Keiko. Yeah, this tortie seems, again, just super feral. Like, no sooner sees a person than is like 20 feet away, just running at full speed. No long hair cats, no more girl cats. You has one girl cat. 3, 6, okay, one more makes 7. See, growing up, my mom was always super insistent on, oh, thank you! You're so sweet! So, yeah, my mom was always all about female cats only, and I have always had mixed gender cat households, and it's always worked out fine for me. Opal is the only and last girl cat. Yes. Alright, so there we go. And so I could be gluing these I could glue these all at once, but I really want there to be some that are dry that I can start shaping, and so that's why I'm gluing them one at a time, even though it's not the most efficient way to be doing this. And thank you, Winkish. Welcome in. Are you a crafter, or are you just stopping by? I am throwing things on the floor. We're just going to pretend I didn't pick that up, and we're going to grab another one. But yeah, I've always never had problems with mixed gender households. Okay, really? Come on. Okay, so, alright, so again, we're making these earrings, and I am about to finish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I finished all of the large coils for one, so I'm going to go ahead and bust a move on 7 coils for the second one. And since I think you guys have seen me do this enough, it's going to be faster if I do it this way. So we're going to just kind of slam through this. So again, after tonight's tutorial, we are going to be doing part 2 of our Gemstones podcast on the Cullinan Diamond, talking about all kinds of more of the crazy stuff, all the politics and history of that giant diamond. And so that's going to be at 7:30. And then tomorrow's going to be a sale, live sale. Friday is going to be another tutorial, and Saturday is going to be either a live freeform. No, it's going to be a Zoom. It's going to be a Zoom because freeform was last week because it was deathmatch. So Zoom on Saturday. If you have not Zoomed with us before, you can go ahead and sign up for our Discord or join our Discord, and the Zoom information is on there. If you need that info, type !Discord into the Twitch chat, and that'll get you that invite link for our Discord. There is a channel for Zoom. It's got the information for our recurring meeting. Saturday Zoom is just a time where we get together and we can craft together. It's a great highlight of my week because I finally get to see all of your faces. Usually you only get to see my face and I don't get to see y'all, so it's nice to see everybody. So that's going to be Saturday at 6 p.m. Central Time, and then we'll be back with more tutorials the following week. Next week. The following week is next week. Yeah, sorry. Brains did not brain correctly there. Thank you, Julie. Okay, so I'm just continuing to make spirals, and I need to make 7 more, and then I'm going to make my coils that are going to be my attachments for my ear wires and my charms. Okay, and this one I did not do a really good job of coiling, so this is not what we want. Okay, this kind of coned out end, but it's pretty easy to fix. Again, just sort of squish everything in together and then let it go. And I definitely jacked up that end of it, but once we form this, it's probably not going to be a problem. So here's another thing, and here's another reason why I should have been gluing this set as I was going, because they're gonna get bigger as they, you know, sit. So in order to keep everything the same size, I really should be gluing them as I'm creating them. So I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to do that. Oh, that's a bummer, Julie. Your brain will sort it out. It will. It'll just take some time to parse the data. Do. Okay, so I've got 4 of these, which I'm trying to normalize in size, so oops on that. And then I gotta do 3 more, and then we're gonna do the coils. Hi, Silver. Oh, Silver, I finished your ring. It is very, very shiny right now because I tumbled it to get all the gook off of it after I soldered it. Do you want me to leave it shiny? I can go get it in a minute, or do you want me to redo the patina? Hi, Ace. Carol says, Ace, we miss you.
We do. A lot.
So apparently there are lots of ways you can offend people in ASL. So that's good to know. Alright, hold on, I'm going to glue this and then I shall go get your ring. And you can see it shiny. Because it is V-shiny right now. Because all the patina is gone from it because of the soldering and the tumbling. So, but I can redo it. Alright, BRB, quickly! Oof. Okay. It was fairly easy to fix, yes. So this is Silver's ring, everybody, just in case you were wondering. So I fixed it. It had separated, the solder had separated here, so I soldered it back together, and then I tumbled it, and now it is extremely shiny dragon ring. So I can,
so awesome.
Yes, I can leave it shiny and ship it to you that way, or I can redo the patina on it.
And ship it to you that way.
Exactly. See?
Either
you
way.
have options. So many options. But it is, I mean, I like it shiny. I I like things shiny personally. I think it's cool, but it is not how you sent it to me, so I just want to, you know, make sure. Also, wow, my back is not happy with me right now. So that's exciting. What sizes? It should be whatever size it was when you sent it to me.
Oh,
got it. Hold please. Is size... It's like a 7. It's like a... It's a 7. It's a 6.5 to 7. It's round again now. He's round. Yes, he's very pretty. Okay, I'm gonna continue. 3, 4, 5. All right, I need to make 2 more of these. Yes, that happens. I have a ring that I was wearing and I took it off and I was like, wow, that's an interesting shape. Okay, so lesson learned. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna coil this, and then I'm gonna let it go, and then I'm gonna glue it almost immediately. That way I'll maintain my consistency of size. So I let it go, and now I'm gonna glue it. Alright, Silver says leave it shiny. That means it goes to the shipping department, which is over there, the other side of the screen. Or I can ship it to Silver.
No, I have other things to ship to Silver, and I'm just how bad I am at shipping right now.
Alright, so this is my 7th one. And then we're going to do the coils that are for attaching stuff. And actually, I do remember what I did, and I'm going to do it again with this, is I did use the actual quilling papers for the coils, because I wanted them to be a little bit, I didn't want them to be as thick, so I could get jump rings through them. So handy dandy me, I've got 2 quilling papers here, but I know where the rest of them live, so I'm just gonna, I'll have to buzz away and get those in a minute. Okay, so I've got 7 spirals for each earring. And then I'm just going to go grab this one. Okay, and I've got quilling papers. So now I'm going to do my 4 little curls that are going to hold my jump rings. That means I need 4 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and the cool thing about the quilling papers is they come with little sticky ends, so you don't even need your glue. You just rotate it up, and I think I only did half, which means you can't use the sticky end. So let's see what happens when I do a whole one. So I'm going to rotate that up. Yeah, that is definitely, that's way too much. Okay. Look, now I have a curl. There was a little girl who had a little curl.
Right on the top of my head, I have that.
So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut these in half, but I'm going to cut them in half so that I can still use the sticky ends, because the sticky ends are really cool and helpful. So, but I don't need this much length on my quilling paper, so I'm going to go ahead and just chop them. Okay, so now that I've got my shortened quilling paper, I'm once again gonna grab that with my quilling tool and I'm gonna rotate it until I make a coil. And then what we can do is let it go, but just a little bit, because I don't want it to get this big. I just want it to get a little bit bigger, like that. And then I'm just going to take my end off and roll it around, and it will stick on itself, which is pretty cool. Pretty handy dandy. So, right, so that's one of my attachment coils. So I'm going to do 3 more of those. And let's use the ones that I actually cut. And then we're going to work on forming our eyes after this. Love that. Fruit is similar to weed. Alright, so again, I've got my coil, and I'm just going to let it release out just a bit. Okay, so I only want it to increase in size by about half again, and then I'm going to take the self stick of my quilling, and I'm just going to stick that down with a little bit of pressure. Alright, so 2 more of those. One of the things, Keiko, talking about pretty green curls, like one of the things I did contemplate for Saturday's project was to make a paper wig. But I decided that that was a really stupid idea to try and do in an hour. But it would have been really fun. I know, right? It would have been extremely ambitious for an hour, which is why I didn't do it. I was like, no, be smart. Don't pick the stupidly complicated project. Alright, so that's all my coils. Okay, so now let's go with how do we form this eye shape? And it's actually really easy. How do you know it's easy? Because I can actually do it. Unlike some of the more complicated quilling forms. So all you're going to do to make the eye is you are going to, hello, Edge of Human! Welcome into the Beading Dream stream. How are you doing this afternoon, evening, morning? What time is it where you are? So I'm going to take this and I want to kind of try and center my coil in the center of my coil. That didn't make much sense, but I want to center this spiral pattern, and then I'm just going to take my fingers and I'm going to keep that centered, and I'm just going to pinch. I'm going to double pinch, one on either end, and that's going to make my eye pattern. And like I said, this is going to be bigger than the earrings that I made the other night, because I was working with scrapbooking paper tonight, and I was working with book pages the other night. So these are going to be a little bit longer. So this is going to be a more dramatic pair of earrings. And so I'm going to go ahead and do this. And yay, Maryland! I am good, thank you very much. So you are only an hour ahead of us. Okay, so there's my second. So I'm just going to go ahead and make all of these coils into eyes. So yeah, we're good on the Beading Dream stream tonight. We are looking forward to our podcasting stream, which is coming after this, which we are going to be talking about the Cullinan diamond, which is an interesting historical giant sparkly thing, and all of the crazy politics and everything that goes along with that. So that's going to be fun. Also, I will say that the sticky on these cheap quilling papers that I got off of Amazon is not super great, so I'm going to take a minute and glue those. But yes, so we're excited about the podcast. It's always fun to learn new things about new things and get to share things with other people about the cool stuff. And Heather may just take us off into Geology Wonderland.
We are going to Geology Wonderland.
So who knows how long we're going to be there. We might wind up with a part 3 of this podcast, which is fine. That would be totally fine. I would have no objections to a part 3 of the Cullinan podcast, because there's just so much.
There is so much.
There's so much backstory to all of these famous jewels. Sorry, these coils are being a pain in the butt. I don't want to glue. Ooh, we also like jade stones and amethysts. So, Adjectivum, do you bead, do you fabricate, or do you just appreciate stones for the cool things that they are? All of those things are welcome here on the Beading Dream stream, for sure. Alright, so you coils are going to cooperate. Oh God. Oh, that's amazing. That's really cool. Corvus, are you saying you don't like listening to our voices over and over and over and over again? Is that what I'm hearing? Because that's kind of what it sounds like. Okay, so I'm going to continue making my eyes.
New stonemason, that's cool.
Yes, that's very cool. Okay, so I'm just going to make eyes. Eyes, eyes, eyes. Ah, meh. Okay, well, I managed to glue these together, which is great, except for it's not time for that yet, guys. Stop reading ahead. So, just a side note about these earrings. They are paper, so obviously they're not going to stand up to water. You know, obviously they're not going to stand up to any hard wear and tear. But this is the second pair of quilled paper earrings I've done on stream, and they are very, you know, they're very pretty. The forms are very fluid, and I really like them. But just be aware that this is not a hard wearing pair of earrings. This is a, you know, this is an occasional earring, not an everyday earring. Uh-oh, our voices are ingrained in Corvus's brain forever. Well, sorry, not sorry. Come back here, damn it. Excuse me.
Thank you for helping other people listen to us.
Yes. Oh, man. Yes, thank you, Corvus. We appreciate you. You know we do.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I got 2 more. Then we're going to glue this baby together. And I think, considering that we are getting close to 7 o'clock, I'm going to just glue one earring together and finish one because we still have the nail polish. And then while the nail polish is drying on the first one, I will work on the second one. Okay, so what I did, my pattern from this earring was I had one as the center, and then I glued 2 on top, and then 2 in between, and then 2 on the bottom. So we're going to have one in the middle, and we're going to start with 2 on top, like so. So I'm going to take my glue brush. And so what I'm doing is I'm just gently, I've got glue on there, and I'm just gently pressing my 2 quilled pieces together. And it doesn't take that long for the glue to grab. So then I'm going to do the same on the other side. And I am going to just kind of apply some pressure here to get them to have kind of a nice little point. And I totally did not just get Elmer's glue on my camera. I don't know what you're talking about.
Better than melting it.
It's true. All right, and so then I'm going to add my next one.
Oh, Corvus.
In there.
He's so sweet.
And so the cool thing about this being paper is you can kind of manipulate it. And, you know, if you want it to be narrower, you can press it down. If you want it to be less narrow, you can, you know, fluff it out. So I'm just going to kind of... Ah! No! Hold, please. I might have just Kimber-lighted my, my earring.
Oh my.
Yes.
I still don't know why we've given the person with a bit of a lisp the word sublithospheric.
You're the geologist! You're the geologist! Okay?
I know.
I'm not the geologist. So I'm sorry, but you get stuck with it because you did this stuff in college, at fancy college too, like not even just regular college.
No, it was regular college.
Oh, well, still.
It
was Orange College.
It was Orange College, yes.
I think that automatically makes it fancy.
Well, fair.
That's awesome, Edge of Human. I loved stone books.
Yes.
When I was a kid. I still love stone books now. I don't know who I think I'm fooling.
My nieces gave me a stone advent calendar, which I absolutely ate up. Lauren had the same one. I didn't realize
awesome.
that her advent calendar was like mine. But of course it was.
Okay, so these are my last 2. So this is my little kind of leafy pattern here. And again, just so I can get some good pressure to get everything glued together, I'm going to try not to yeet any of this, and I'm just going to squish it all together. Squish! And I'm going to give it a good solid, you know, couple of breaths, and then I'm going to let it go, and everything's going to be glued together. So that is my quilled earring. Now I need to add my coils, and so see how different, just because of, first of all, the size of the pieces of paper I use, second of all, the fact that I actually, you know, had time to plan and think a little bit more this time, but I have a vastly different shape. I actually like this one much more. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 coils. I'm going to do one atop here and one under here to hold my ear wire and my charm. So again, I'm going to just blop some glue in there. Maybe didn't need to blop quite that much glue, but too late now. And I'm just going to pop this on top, like so. And then I'm going to do the same thing down here with the blopping of the glue and the dropping of the coil. And this one I'm gonna let separate a little bit so that I can once again get a little bit of that pressure. And then I want to give this a minute to set before I try and attach anything to it, because if I don't, everything is going to freaking fall apart when I try and attach it. So I still have 7 pieces plus 2 coils over here for my other earring, but once again, it's already 7 and I don't want to delay us too much with the podcast, because we are going to be talking a lot. Okay, so now that my glue is mostly set, I'm going to grab my findings. So I need, in order to put my ear wire on, I'm going to need a big, for each, for the top and the bottom, I'm going to need a big jump ring, and I'm going to need a small jump ring. For the top, and I only need one of those because I haven't made my other pair yet. And then for the bottom, I'm going to need a big jump ring, and I'm going to need a medium jump ring, and that is just because of the charm that I picked and where the hole in the charm is, that I need a jump ring that's a little bit bigger. So yes, I like them with the longer paper strips. Like, I definitely like this better than what I did the other night, but of course, once again, and the green coils do reinforce that. It's true. Alright, so I'm going to take my chain nose pliers, and just 2 pairs of chain nose pliers. I'm going to open up this jump ring, and I'm going to put it through my coil, like so. So you're going to need a big jump ring, because you need something that's going to go through and not deform this paper coil here. So that's why I've got like an 8mm jump ring here. And then I'm going to use a smaller jump ring. This is a 4mm jump ring, because if I were to attach an ear wire to this jump ring right now, my earring would not hang straight, it would hang sideways. So I want my earring to hang straight. So I'm going to attach, first of all, I'm going to close this jump ring like properly, and then I'm going to attach a smaller jump ring, a 4mm jump ring, to that larger jump ring. So I'm going to open that, I'm going to attach that to my larger jump ring, like so, and then I'm going to grab my ear wire, and I'm going to put that on there as well, and then I'm going to close this small jump ring up nice and tight. Like so. And then I'm going to do the same thing here on the bottom to attach my charm. So again, I've got my large jump ring. I'm going to open that up like so. So you want to make sure that you open it so that you've got enough room, once again, to get through this paper coil without deforming it. So I'm going to attach that to my paper coil, and I'm going to close it like so. I mean, I'm only going to be painting the edge, and I don't have to paint them, but if we're going to be true to the original project, I do have to paint them. And so we're going to open this up, and then attach my charm to that. Now you do need to make sure that you pay attention to which way is front when you're putting your charm on, because otherwise, oh, I don't need a jump ring for this charm. I was not paying attention. This one could go right on the big jump ring. So this is a thing that you need to think about when you're working with charms, is they don't always have the holes in the same direction. So I wasn't even paying attention, but this one has a hole in the same direction as can be used just straight on this jump ring. Like so, and then close it up. Okay, so that is my earring. And then, so this is something that you can do if you want, but you don't have to. But part of the challenge from Saturday is nail polish was part of the challenge. So what I did was I actually put nail polish all around the edge of my earring. Now, what I will say is this does give you a little bit more of kind of a firm edge to your earring. A lot of times with quilling, what you'll do is you'll take another piece of paper and it'll go around the outside several times to make kind of like a frame, and I'm not doing that this time, so I'm going to go ahead and nail polish it and that will first of all fulfill the requirements of the challenge, and second of all will give me a little bit of a sturdier edge. So it's just, there's nothing special about this nail polish. It is just regular nail polish. This is Wet n Wild brand, so it's not even fancy nail polish. But it's nice because it gives a little bit of a definition to the edge of the paper. And you know, once again, this is optional. I used it on the project the other day because it was part of the requirements, but you could totally choose not to use it and that would be fine. It does go around the outside, it's true, Ace. Much like 2 Trailer Park Girls. And I picked black because my papers are green and black, so I thought the black would be a nice kind of dramatic color. You can also use the nail polish a little bit to reinforce your joints. And I am gonna paint that. I was gonna not paint that, I just changed my mind. And I did do 2 coats of nail polish during the contest. I'm only gonna do 1 tonight, but you can always go back and do a second one. That's a really good idea. Lori just had a fabulous idea, which if you wanted to strengthen the project without affecting the color, you could use clear nail polish. But I do think, Keiko, that you might, like, it really does serve as kind of a nice way to contrast. For instance, the color of my finger, contrast the color of my finger. I still do not know how Heather got through the entire competition on Saturday with no nail polish on her fingers. It's just one of those mystifying things to me. I was never that child. Never could keep a dress white or anything. Not my gift. So you will probably notice that I'm having a little bit of trouble avoiding the findings. So what I would say is it would probably actually be a good idea to do, if you're going to do the nail polish, to do it first and then put the findings on after, just because now I've got some, you know, nail polish on my findings. But and I do want to go back in with a second coat because I definitely have some places where I could improve. But what I've got now is I've got my black nail polish around the outside of my project, and what it does is it does give kind of a nice contrast of the it does give a nice contrast with those white and green papers. This is a little stuck because of the nail polish, but yeah. So there it is. That's the Quilled eye earring with nail polish. Again, you could do it with or without. Just once again, remember that this is not an earring for hardware, okay? So this is a right? So this is an occasional wear earring, but it is really fun. I do love the quilling. It's very meditative, and so I have a really good time doing it. So that's it. That is your instruction on the Quilled eye, excuse me, Quilled eye earrings project. So that's going to be it for the tutorial stream tonight. Heather and I will be back on this channel, twitch.tv/beadingdream, in just about 20 minutes. Yes, Corvus is not wrong. You can also spray that with protective sealant spray, and the whole thing will last longer, but still, no water, no mosh pits, no showers. Like, take care of your jewelry, y'all. Okay, so that's going to be it for the tutorial stream this evening. Heather and I will be back on this channel, twitch.tv/Beading Dream, in just about 20 minutes with the second part of the Cullinan podcast, possibly 2 of 3, possibly 2 of 2. Nobody knows until we get into it. So everyone, take a break, get yourself a snack, pour yourself a cocktail, get comfy, get cozy, and join us back on this channel, twitch.tv/Beading Dream, in 20 minutes at 7:30 p.m. Central Time for that podcast. Don't forget that Twitch notifications for our second broadcast tend to be crappy and non-existent. So set a reminder on your phone to check back in 20 minutes on this channel, twitch.tv/Beading Dream. I am going to caffeinate, and I will see you guys all in a bit. Thanks, y'all.